Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and it is homecoming week for the Floor Wolves.
It's homecoming week for the Floor Wolves. So, scoot over so you can see my whole shirt here.
Get over
Floor
there.
Wolves.
Floor Wolves.
Floor Wolves. Woo-hoo.
I'm just in blue because I didn't get this memo till I was already here.
Yeah, sorry. I thought of it last minute. I'm like, hey, it's homecoming. We should wear orange and blue. But luckily, she already was on her way and had blue with her.
Well, tonight I think is the pink out game for Jim's volleyball.
Oh, yes, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'll take a minute to say my public service announcement is that you should do, if you're a woman, you should do a self-check in the shower because it could save your life. Because it saved mine.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I'm a breast cancer survivor. I had breast cancer in 2013 and went through 6 months of chemo and had a total double mastectomy and reconstruction and went through hell and back and lived to tell about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and it was all because I did a self-exam in the shower. So, and I was only in my 30s and I had no family history of breast cancer. So even if you think that you are not at risk, do the self-checks.
Yep. Get her done.
Get her done.
Mammograms. Get her done. I do that too. It's my years, I've got to get mine done too. I think what is this month? October? Yeah, I'm a month behind. I got to get mine. I got to get mine scheduled. So.
Yep. Do it.
Yep. Those are fun. But yeah, so that's the pink out game tonight. And then homecoming week. Fun. Oh my gosh. I was talking, on the previous episode, I was talking about my class reunion was this last weekend. And of course the Hall of Fame. The induction of the Hall of Fame is this coming weekend.
Yes. There's a lot of people coming into town for that.
Yep, there is. That's going to be fun. But oh my gosh, homecoming week back in the day, loved it. Love. So what are some of the things they're doing?
So the high school this week, they've been having daily dress-up days. So today is Western Day. Carissa went to school with her jeans and her boots, and she does the cowboy action shooting. So she has her belt buckle on that she won in a first place in one of her big shoots, and a cowboy hat. She looks super cute.
Yeah.
And yesterday was glow day, I think. So everyone wore bright glow in the dark colors. The day before that was I don't remember.
They still do Crazy Hat Day or anything?
I don't think so.
That's my time.
Duo Day. They did that, and she and her friend, she was Remy from Ratatouille, and the other girl was the chef. That was cute.
Fun.
Yeah, they've just been having all kinds of fun. Tomorrow night's the bonfire, and then the bonfire games, which hopefully it's not raining. I haven't looked ahead at the schedule for that. The homecoming parade, by the time this airs, that will have been over, but it's going to be tomorrow. And then the homecoming game Friday night and the dance Saturday night.
Yep.
So
busy week. Busy week at the high school, but a great week. Fun week for the kids.
The kids have a great time.
We used to, and they still do the judging of the homecoming parade.
Yep.
And I must say, I've said it before, the class of 1985, we won our freshman year, we won our sophomore year, we won our junior year, and we won our senior year. Only class in high school history to ever win the float all 4 years.
Yeah, what a title. You should hang on to that one.
We do.
That's pretty cool.
Once again, because my class was so close, you know how many of us showed up to do it?
All of you.
All of us.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, they were fun. And then, because part of our bonfire was we burned some of our floats.
I don't think they do that anymore.
They don't do that anymore. What do they do with the floats when they're done? Do they even take them down there?
Yeah.
Because I'm almost thinking we even took our floats down there, and they were, because of course the field's different than whenever I was back in the day before they remodeled and put that new track in. It was not the same.
I don't know that they take all of the floats down there. They might. I know a lot
we took all of the
kids
walk down there.
I can remember when Malia walked, there was a bunch of kids that, as I was driving from downtown to the football field, they piled in, and there was probably 10 or 15 cars in my Suburban, my Yukon. And then just drove them. I know that's illegal, but I don't care. And then drove them to the field.
We would literally the float after the parade, and it would just go all the way down Emory Street, down to the football field, and the floats were parked there that night, the whole night of the bonfire. Because sometimes, like I said, we tore some of the floats apart and burned some of the stuff. Our bonfire was really big, and And then I don't know what
Yeah,
happened then.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Well, I love the games. So for those of you that don't have
See,
somebody
we didn't get to do that fun stuff.
Yeah,
so tell me about it.
Yeah, because I didn't even know about this until my oldest was in high school, and then another parent told me, "Well, you should go to that." And I was like, "Oh, it's a thing like parents are invited to," and it is, and it's the public can go too. After the homecoming parade, everyone goes to the football field. And on the football field, they have class versus class games. So they'll have like tug of war, and they might have freshman girls versus sophomore girls. And then whoever wins that is like, and then they'll have junior girls versus senior girls. And then the winners of both matches do each other. They do the same thing with boys. They have games where they're out in the middle and they have to find their partner and touch elbow to elbow or, toe to ear, just different random things. It's so funny to watch these kids out there, and they all compete in these games. The parents are in the bleachers, and it's just a really fun time. Mm-hmm. It's fun to watch your kids out there.
Oh, it is a lot of fun.
And it's very competitive. There's a lip sync. There's dance moves. There's the cheerleaders do a dance with the football boys in the dance with them, and it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if. When did that start? Because I can't remember.
I don't know. I know.
I watched Connor. I'm pretty sure Mac. I'm pretty sure Mac. They did it Max. Because I don't know if that started with Mac. I'll have to ask him if he did that. But yeah, I do remember Connor and them guys doing it, especially the tug of war and all that and those kind of things. I think Mac's classic because Mac graduated in 2010. So I'm thinking it's probably right. They probably started doing that at the end of the 2000s. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's kind of fun, but yeah, the kids love it and loud music, and I enjoy it. It's the light time. I like sometimes if it's a nice night, I'll just sit out on in my little pergola outside and just listen to it all. Too.
Oh yeah,
I like the football season.
You should come over and sit with me. Me and Jessica, we sit together and watch the games and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm working late. Last week was a late night working at the shop. I don't think I'm working so late. But yeah, that'll be a good time. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, did she get a homecoming dress?
She did get a homecoming dress. It's gorgeous. It's blue.
When are they decorating for that? When do they do that?
I do not know. I don't know. She's the football manager this year. She's been so busy with football. Like, I haven't gotten to talk to her a whole lot. Like, she goes to all the practices and everything.
What does a football manager do?
The football managers, there's more than one. She's not the only one. They bring water and Gatorade to the boys. Now, I expected paperwork to be involved. I expected, like, okay, you're going to be watching for fumbles, and this manager, she counts,
That's what I was thinking.
No. They apparently don't have any of those responsibilities. That's up to the coaches, which there are multiple coaches, so I'm sure there's enough of those guys they can keep track of fumbles themselves. But, yeah, her job is to make the Gatorade that they have in those big, 5-gallon Gatorade things, and then fill up all these water bottles that they carry around, these, like, six-pack containers, like a wire carrier, and then they carry them around, and the boys, when they need a drink, they take one of those and like squirt it into their mouth of Gatorade. That's her job, and she loves it. She's having fun doing it, and she likes it. So, yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yep. The coaches had asked her if she was interested in doing that this year, and she had played volleyball last year, and this year she thought, you know what, I want to try something new. I'll do that. Huh. So, yeah.
Yeah, and one of her little friends do it with her?
Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah. Malia's the oldest, and she says Carissa did more high school activities in the first week of her freshman year than Malia did in all 4 years. Malia didn't participate in a lot, and she was there. She went to school. She didn't do a lot of extracurriculars. She didn't run around. She was a homebody. She was safe. I was happy. I didn't have to worry about her. And she had a great 4 years of high school. Like, she had a ton of friends, and she loved high school, but she was not like somebody that was like, I'm going to manage this team. I'm going to join this team. I'm in this club, and this club, and this club. She was like, no, I'm good. Y'all have fun.
Well, and Carissa started her Bible study that's growing.
Yeah, and Carissa, she started her own Bible study, and her and her friend Riley, and now they're up to I think it might be over 20 people now that have joined this high school girls only Bible study. They were meeting at the theater, but I think they had to move out of there because they ran out of space because they were using one of our smaller rooms. But Yeah, that girl of mine, she's in everything.
That's good.
So she
That's
is
good.
having fun and staying busy, and
Because she's a junior.
she's a junior.
So, like, next year, Silas will be a freshman and she'll be a senior.
Yes.
It's the same way Mac, when Connor was a freshman, Mac was a senior.
And I will not have to drive anyone to school in the morning.
Hallelujah.
Might be like the happiest day
It is
of my
because
life. It's
there's
like
just,
right up there next to the day I don't have any car seats anymore. That was a good day.
Yeah, I
that
have
was
car
a good day.
seat. Yeah, then one day you'll get them back. I
Yeah.
have a car seat. JoJo's car seats in there.
Yeah, but
But it's
right now,
different when
I'm
you
not-
have that little passenger in there.
Yeah, sure.
Totally different ballgame when you look back there.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, next year will be a good year. I won't have to drive him to school.
Oh yeah,
ride with his
that'll
sister.
be great. Speaking of traveling, I
Okay.
travel a lot, and I like airplanes, right?
Okay, what do you
when
got?
you travel, even when you're going across seas, the food's not that what it used to be. Apparently, when travel first started, let's look at this. Look at this one.
Oh my.
Yeah, this is TWA. Okay, so there is a hot plate, meat and potatoes and peas. There's a salad. There's a couple rolls with butter. I mean, there's a dessert.
Wow.
I mean, and there looks like there's coffee and
yeah,
juice.
you got hot coffee and juice, and I don't know what that is over there on the far left side.
It looks like ice cream.
Like an ice cream or a brownie, maybe.
It looks like an ice cream. Here's what it says. What does a man like for dinner 20,000 feet up? And then it says, food alone doesn't make the flight, but it is one of the reasons. TWA shines as in the traveler's eyes. Thoughtfully planned meals, perfectly cooked and graciously served with TWA's compliments, add to the friendly feeling of being at home in the air, which is the hallmark of TWA travel in the U.S. and overseas. Where in the world do you want to go? For information and reservations, call your travel agent or call TWA. Across the U.S. and overseas, you can depend on TWA. Yeah, that don't happen anymore. I was like, are you kidding me? Look at that tray. Oh, and you probably can't see, but next to the salad, there's olive. There's an olive.
I see the salad and the olive. That's a big olive.
And then what does that little cup say? Dessert sauce.
Oh,
The TWA little thing on that says dessert sauce.
okay.
Yeah, and you got a couple rolls there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a roll,
looks
and then
good.
there's 2 crackers for your salad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what a man would like for dinner, but also a woman. They could
Heck yeah. And then over there's another little, there's a little thing of salt right there in front of the little, looks like Kool-Aid right there. Yeah, then you've got your meat, your potatoes, and your peas. And then it looks like on that far right side thing, there's little rolls, little cookies with lemons. Yeah, no, never happening.
Nope. Now you're
Those
lucky.
days are gone.
Now you're lucky if you get like a little package of like mixed Chex Mix, but it only is really like 2 things: Cheez-Its and pretzels. And
when we flew overseas, when I took that Mediterranean cruise, one time we flew over and it was, thank you, Ty. One time we flew over and it was really, really good. And it wasn't bad, but it just a little tiny because, I survived. But I don't eat or drink a lot on a plane because I'm not getting up.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. But then it's like this catch-22. Like you also don't want to be dehydrated because you're getting ready to do a lot of walking, and you don't want to be like make yourself sick because you didn't drink.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't like because airplane bathrooms are tiny.
I try to avoid them, but I haven't
avoid them,
been
too.
on a really long flight in a long time. I mean,
My longest was 12 hours coming home from Greece.
Yeah, that's too long.
That's too long.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But
Yeah.
we're going to take a commercial break.
Okay.
You've got some fun stuff for us today.
I do. Yes.
right.
We'll be right back.
This is Christy, inviting you to wrap yourself in lasting luxury at Carnaby Square. We specialize in one-on-one customer service, high quality, head-turning, on-trend fashions, footwear, accessories, and a complete line of Brighton leather goods and jewelry. If you want to nix fast fashion and invest in a true-to-size, ethically manufactured wardrobe that you'll wear for years, it's time to treat yourself at Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. So today's episode is going to be about the Victorian era.
My favorite.
I found this magazine at Barnes & Noble, and I picked it up just to kind of browse, and I ended up buying it, even though it was like $20.
But how would you not, though?
It's so full of interesting stuff. It's called The Weird History of the Victorians. And you know, I love history, so sometimes I get off the beaten path. I don't cover local history, but this is just fun stuff. So this magazine is, I'm going to save some of it. Like there's a Christmas article in here I'm going to save for an episode around Christmas. But the images in here are beautiful. The information is beautiful. And there's a lot of things that it talks about that I just really didn't know or hadn't thought about. And just the Victorians had
I love the Victorian
a lot
era.
of traditions and things that they did that we don't do anymore. And they're, when you look back on them, they're kind of weird. And you're like, what were they thinking? So one thing that they did is on Valentine's Day. So instead of sending a Valentine to somebody that you liked, they would send a sour note to someone that they didn't like. It was like your chance to be like,
wait.
So I don't like you. I don't like you.
Well,
so I'm going to tell you a little bit about this.
I got to hear about this.
This is called a sour note vinegar Valentine's. Roses are red, violets are blue. When it comes to my Valentine, it sure won't be you. This is real. This is what they did.
I love it. That's hysterical.
In the days before texts, apps, and emails, letters and cards were widely exchanged, not by carrier pigeon, but delivered by hand. And in the case of vinegar Valentines, that's what I'm going to be talking about. This is what they called them, vinegar Valentines.
Vinegar?
Most likely at great speed, as these were not your average greeting card filled with sloppy poetry and declarations of love. Instead, they contained greetings of a much less friendly sentiment. Often they were crass, sarcastic, cynical, emotionally damaging, and downright mean-spirited. They emerged in the 1840s, and the cards were originally produced in America by a number of esteemed printing companies. The trend soon spread across the pond to England, where the cards were produced not only by various stationers, but publishers, including none other than Raphael Tuck and Sons, the revered publishers favored by Queen Victoria herself, to whom she granted the royal warrant of appointment. These were also known as comic valentines or mocking valentines. Vinegar valentines were sent anonymously, meaning the recipient would have to work out who disliked them enough to send them such a thing. A vinegar valentine could make a person blush, only in this case with hurt, humiliation, and embarrassment. This is awful.
Wow.
Worse still, before 1840, postage was paid for by the person receiving a letter rather than the sender. This added insult to injury, particularly if the card was aimed at someone frugal or deemed penny pinching. So not you received it, but you had to pay for it. So if you would send me a vinegar,
my gosh!
So if you sent me a vinegar Valentine, I'd go to pick up my mail or whatever, and I would have to pay to get my mail, and then I get it, and it's a hate note.
Okay, we're bringing back Vinegar Valentine.
I think there's enough hate in the world. I don't think we need them.
We have Facebook. We don't need Vinegar Valentine.
Cheaply made and printed on a thin single sheet of paper, the majority of cards had both an insulting illustration or caricature on the front, paired with an equally offensive poem. Ty, I think I sent in, let's take a look at, I took a
This is
picture of one of
Christy.
these.
I am dying.
Yeah, let's look at that one.
To my Valentine.
To my Valentine, 'tis a lemon that I hand you and bid you now, skidoo, because I love another, there is no chance for you.
Okay, so is he sending it to her? I feel like he just sent it to her and she just caught it.
I don't know.
Don't you? Because, yeah. What do you
Or
think
she.
about that picture?
Yeah, I feel like he sent it, but he looks surprised, so it's almost like she's getting ready to throw it at him.
Yeah.
I don't know. 'Tis a lemon that I hand you and bid you now, skidoo, because I love another. There is no chance for you. Can you imagine?
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Dear Johns.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the vinegar. I'm not lying. I'm digging the vinegar Valentine.
Everyone in society was targeted as an object of ridicule, from nagging wives to unfaithful lovers. Even the poor old postman was not exempt from ridicule. Insults were aimed at laziness, vanity, stupidity, drunkenness, and social ills, to name but a few. And as the women's suffrage movement took hold, there were even cards aimed at questioning a woman's right to vote. One depicted a po-faced woman sitting in a chair, clutching a book in one hand and pointing with the other, and carried the message, "Your vote for me you will not get. I don't want a preaching suffragette." Men would also send the cards to their friends, mocking their characteristics or chosen professions, even highlighting the reason why they were still single. Such was the popularity of these cutting messages that in 1847, one large retailer in New York found that the amount of traditional loving Valentine's Day cards they sold was matched by the number of sales of their acidic counterparts. By the late 1800s, the idea of dispatching a hurtful Valentine's card had largely faded from public consciousness. So it didn't last a whole lot. Well, maybe close to 50 years, honestly. I think I sent in a picture of another.
I got to see another one.
Yeah, that one. Not a chance. She's up on her soapbox.
Her soapbox.
She's
What's
saying
her little slash
votes
say?
for women.
Votes for women.
She's on her little soapbox and
Oh, and look at him. He's crying.
yeah, he's got his, what's he got there? He's a little cherub. Got some angel wings and some, is he supposed to be Cupid?
I think so.
Yeah.
Stay begging on me. That's one of my favorite songs.
They're hard to find. And if you're looking for them in a retail, like a antique shop, something like that, they're very hard to find. They're rare because most
don't
people
think-
tore them up after they received it or burnt them. Some were confiscated by the Postal Service,
love
and
it.
sometimes the Postal Service would intervene and refuse to deliver if they were really bad.
Oh, because like you could see, I mean, they're just postcards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Then there's another one that I'll read to you. I didn't send in a picture of this one. It has a picture of a woman in a fancy dress and a big hat with a bunch of stuff on the hat, and she's like, thinks she's like dressed to kill, you know, like super. And it says, "Mrs. Overdress, your poor old husband slaves all day to dress you in this silly way, but worse and worse each year you get, while he gets deeper into debt." So they were making fun of her for her
because she
clothes.
dresses nice, and
Yep. Yep.
okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never, ever in my life heard that saying. Never,
Yeah.
ever.
I did
That
not
was
know.
great. That made
I
me
did
happy.
not know about vinegar
Valentine's.
Valentines. This story is really sad. I'm not sure that I'm going to cover that one. This one is called Sun, Sea, and Social Breakdown. The rise of the railway brought seaside resorts in reach of the masses and fresh challenges to maintain Victorian morality. Because now you had a train, everybody could get to the ocean. Everybody wanted to go for a swim, but they were all about their morality and their modesty. So how do you swim and maintain your modesty?
Oh, the Victorian bathing suits were probably horrific.
We're going to talk about that a little bit. Okay, so
Of course, honestly, the way some people don't hardly wear a bathing suit, it wouldn't be that bad of a thing.
yeah. From sandcastles to fish and chips, promenades to pleasure piers, many of the things best associated with a trip to the British seaside have their roots in the Victorian summer holiday. However, while we take these seaside attractions for granted now, even looking back on them as old-fashioned, many of them were considered revolutionary at the time. Let's see. Trips to the seaside were nothing new at the beginning of the Victorian era, at least for the upper classes. In fact, taking the waters is what they called it. Do you need to take the waters? Taking the waters for your health was so popular during the Georgian period that Jane Austen featured both the spa town of Bath in 2 of her novels and the coastal town of Lyme Regis in Persuasion. As Austen was keen to point out, while these trips were ostensibly about getting fresh air and exercise, they were often an excuse for high society to mingle and show off. So, if you wanted to mingle and show off, you said that you were taking the waters.
Taking the waters.
Mm-hmm. And they would go stroll in front of the seaside. It was good for the constitution, good for their constitution. So, they would do that.
Does the Constitution mean like
their
your
their makeup? Yeah, yeah. I
good
think
for the
so.
soul. Good for the Constitution.
Yeah. But there was also a public catwalk along the seaside where you could be seen by society and enjoy admiring glances as you strolled serenely by, decked out in your best attire. This was promenading, and it only grew in popularity during the Victorian era, with the first piers being built in the 1850s to give tourists somewhere to stroll, as well as to moor the ships. And then spa towns started to grow. This was all during Queen Victoria's reign. So everyone was going to the coastal areas. But then the Industrial Revolution brought along the railroad, and this new mode of transport could whisk you across country in a matter of hours, shrinking time itself and opening a whole new world of endless opportunities of how people could spend their precious leisure time. So along came the bathing machines.
Oh, boy. Bathing machines.
Uh-huh. It says all aboard the bathing machines. Okay. Up until the 1850s, it was not unusual for men to bathe or even swim in the sea completely naked.
Ew.
But such a tradition would not fit with the ever-expanding popularity of the seaside holiday. Now, there were more people sharing the beach. Many of them were women and children. So,
put your pants on.
Yeah, get your pants on,
Get
dude.
your britches on, buddy.
Victorian values and correctness dictated that the proper etiquette was followed. And if there was an unmarried woman there, she had to be chaperoned by a married friend.
Oh, funny.
Promoted as a healthy pastime, sea bathing was as popular with Victorian women as men. It probably felt good because weren't they all filthy?
Oh, they were all gross. Yeah, everybody stunk.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We need to take a commercial break before you talk about bathing suits.
Okay, we'll be right back.
At Clay County Hospital, we are dedicated to providing quality care for you and your family. Our skilled medical team is committed to your well-being, ensuring that you receive the personalized attention you deserve. From filling your prescriptions at our state-of-the-art pharmacy to a visit with our compassionate behavioral health providers, we're here to support you every step of the way in your journey. Experience the difference at Clay County Hospital, where your health is our priority. Clay County Hospital. Complete care, start to finish.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield banking companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking about the weird history of Victorians, and we are talking about bathing machines and the seaside trips that they began taking, and what was really happening here. So it says it is important to point out, however, that bathing in the sea was not the draw. Swimming in open water was quite rare. Paddling and dipping were both thought to invigorate health. But the big question was, how could men and women benefit from such pleasurable pursuits while maintaining the essential Victorian decorum? So the first solution was quite straightforward. Men and women would bathe in separate parts of the beach.
Oh, really?
In 1847, Parliament gave local councils new powers to set how far apart the sexes had to be when bathing. One such bylaw passed the Lowcraft Suffolk, which was not unusual for the era, and it said, a person of the female sex shall not, while bathing, approach within 100 yards of any place at which any person of the male sex above the age of 12 years old may be set down for the purpose of bathing. So you couldn't get within 100 yards of the other sex.
Okay.
Regulation also required.
You're in the ocean. Sometimes it moves you.
Yeah.
That'd be difficult.
Well, they really weren't out in it. They were dipping. They were dipping in it.
Yeah, they didn't go too far.
Regulation also required that women wore a suitable gown, this is in quotes, suitable gown or other sufficient dress or covering to prevent indecent exposure of the body. This swimwear could be extremely heavy. This is why they didn't go into deep water.
Right. Oh, yeah, you probably drowned.
This swimwear could be extremely heavy. Sometimes weights were even sewn into it so that the dress did not float to the surface. In choppy waters, these heavy outfits could drown a wearer. But these coveralls did serve another purpose. They stopped the ladies getting a suntan. Until the 1920s, having a tan was considered vulgar and only for workers in the fields.
Really?
On the beach, parasols would also be employed to shade them from the sun. However, as modest as Victorian swimwear was to their prudish minds, a woman having to walk the length of the beach to the sea, even on a gender-segregated beach, was the equivalent of a modern walk of shame. Instead, they used a bathing machine. So they didn't want to walk from across the sand to get into the water. It makes me think of the song by the Beach Boys, the little polka dot bikini, yellow. She didn't want to come out from behind the.
She wore an itsy teeny weeny yellow.
But this was a walk of shame. So they had bathing machines. So strictly speaking, bathing machines dated back to around the 1750s, and they were not machines at all. They resembled a beach hut with 4 wheels, and it would be rolled out to sea, usually pulled by horses. And some machines were equipped with a canvas tent around the door, capable of being lowered into the water and thus giving the bather greater privacy. How dare she be How dare she be seen walking across the sand to get her toe dipped into the water? She must be in this box, pulled by horses, covered by a tarp, so that no one sees her.
How hot that would be?
Oh my gosh, no one could see her getting out across the beach and then to the water.
But yet men are naked. But back in the day.
Well, they were required to start wearing something, but I bet they didn't have shirts on.
I bet they didn't either.
Once deep enough in the surf, the bather would then exit the cart using the door. Basically, they loaded these girls into the water like a boat ramp.
Well, yes. Mm-hmm. And then hope they didn't drown or that thing tip over and they die.
Because they all have weights sewed into their dresses to keep them so they don't float up to the surface. Once deep enough in the surf, the bather would then exit the cart using the door that was facing away from prying eyes on the beach and proceed to paddle. For inexperienced swimmers,
oh my God,
which would have been most Victorian women in their billowing swimwear, some beach resorts offer the service of a dipper, a strong woman who would escort the bather out to sea in the cart and then lift them into the water and yank them out when they were done.
Oh, my gosh.
When the swimmer wanted the bathing machine brought back in, they would signal the operator by raising a small flag attached to the contraption's roof. Bathing machines were deeply hypocritical. Men just strolled into the water wearing a considerably tighter swimsuit.
Of course.
But in a strange way, bathing machines also played a small part in giving a modicum of freedom to Victorian women, allowing them the privacy to experience sea bathing firsthand rather than be excluded altogether as they had been from so many other leisure activities and sports. So they were happy. At least they got to do this. They were happy. They didn't care that they had to hide in a box and be lowered into the water like a boat.
You know what it's like to get sand in your bathing suit? Could you imagine sand in a Victorian whatever they're wearing?
How many layers?
Do you have a picture of this?
Yes, I do. Let's show the picture, Ty. Okay.
Oh.
So this is called...
Okay, is that her swimsuit on the side?
Yeah. The great
gosh.
cover-up. The modest way to take the air or take the plunge. So I think the lady on the left is taking the air. The lady on the right is taking the plunge.
And she couldn't walk across the beach in that outfit?
No. So see
the only thing that's showing is her arms.
See, yep. No, she couldn't. That would be horrible. Okay, see this contraption behind them with the big wheels?
Oh, my goodness.
That's a bathing machine. It was invented to preserve the modesty of Victorian ladies. They would be pushed or pulled into the water either by men or a horse. The occupant could then descend the steps into the water with as little bodily exposure as possible. Assistants could also be hired to help you into the water and take a dip rather than swim, then aid you in returning back to the steps. Okay, we're looking at the lady on the right. We're going to read what it says about her neckline. The neckline... The neckline, which goes all the way up past her collarbone, the neckline begins to take the plunge. The high-button collars of earlier swimwear gave way to a more relaxed approach. This is a relaxed approach, considering what was before it. The blouse was still buttoned up for warmth and modesty, but it offered a feminine style with a belt that brought the outfit out at the waist.
All righty then.
Now we're going to look at her arms. A little skin begins to appear. Far more relaxed and braver, these sleeves gave exposure to both sea and sun, creating a little more freedom of movement and looking quite risque. Sleeves would eventually creep further up the arms, but not for some time yet. I bet their arms got burnt, is what I bet.
I would say so.
Okay, we're going to look at her shoes. You never know what you might tread on. Sea bathing did not involve swimming, and so shoes or boots covered the ankles for modesty and were required when you stood in the water in case of jagged pebbles or unspeakable sea creatures that may have been underfoot. So you wore your shoes. Weighed down by the need for modesty, trousers or skirts were a point of style and preference in heavy woolen material. Ladies often chose a combination of these, even putting weights into the overskirt to stop it rising to the surface and exposing the trousers beneath. With a variety of styles, a hat or bonnet kept the hair neatly in place and covered. A dip up to the chest was all that was required, and your head going under the water was very unladylike. So no going in under the water.
Well, what about the waves crashing down on you?
Well, you didn't allow that. You said no wave.
What are you, Moses?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and they're going to knock you down.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at the gal on the left who's, she's just in there. She's taking the air. She's just out for a little bit of a walk.
I love the Victorian era, but I'm glad I didn't live then.
Oh, my gosh. And the heat, it had to be hot, and they're, like, wearing all this wool.
Could you imagine, like, in the southern, if you were in Mississippi, Florida, Georgia?
I think they would have died of heat stroke.
Louisiana? Oh, my gosh, that would be awful.
At first, shaded bonnets and then later less formal straw hats were acceptable to keep the sun from coloring the face, which was not socially acceptable. Tanning was not fashionable until the 1920s.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. If your hat or bonnet didn't give enough protection from the sun, a parasol did the trick. It was also very useful to shield you from the eyes of the lower classes and hide telling blushes when being courted. A high-collared jacket was essential to remaining poised and keeping the sea breeze from causing a chill. It also protected the arms from the sun and insects. Elaborate lace would complete the feminine touch. Okay, we're looking at her skirt now. Necessary to cover the legs and the ankles from insects and gentlemen's gazes. Long skirts were often paired with a crinoline petticoat to give it shape and a bustle at the rear. Not easy for sitting in a deck chair. Lighter cotton skirts were introduced later.
Insects and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. I love that. And they're in the same category. Mm-hmm. Insects and gentlemen.
Yep. And you had to wear boots while you were on the sand because you couldn't risk anyone seeing your ankles.
Oh,
those scandalous ankles.
What? How? Oh, my goodness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because if you think, let's go back to Little House on the Prairie days.
Okay.
They weren't this strict, were they?
No.
They really weren't. When did this become?
The Victorian era was kind of at the same time.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth, right?
Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria, yeah.
Yeah, so this was kind of, this was 1850s. This kind of started a little earlier than Laura, but Laura was in the Prairie.
Nobody cared about those.
There were still rules, but this was like high society, and it was a little bit before Laura. But
so basically, if you're high society Victorian, that's where all the rules come from.
Yeah.
You're certainly proper. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So there were other things going on at the beach. They had ice cream.
Well, that
just one example of how eating outside, that was taboo. You could, if you ate outside, that was taboo, but it was broken by ice cream. A famous Victorian cook, Agnes Marshall. Mm-hmm. She might be my new favorite person in history.
She made ice cream.
She claimed to have invented her own freezer equipment, patented an ice cream maker, and created the first ice cream cone. Ice cream sellers would push carts up and down the beach all day, and other street foods of the day were cockles, mussels, and the first fish and chips. I'll pass on the mussels. I'm not sure what cockles are. I do love fish and chips.
I like fish and chips too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
I like that.
If we ever end up in a time machine,
I like fake
and
fish.
we're on the beach during the Victorian era, we'll eat fish and chips and ice cream.
I really want fake fish. I'm a Long John Silver's girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's one of those things you kind of just have a craving for.
I love Long John Silver's.
I honestly feel like I could eat that today. Most days I would say
unfortunately, I would run over to Salem and get some, but it's gone.
Yeah, you have to go to Effingham.
Yeah, it's just too far.
Yeah.
We need to take a commercial break, and then we'll
be
come
right
back.
Since 2004, Ed Lewis Trucking has been moving America forward. Family owned and built on values that matter. Reliability, hard work, and service you can count on. From dry van freight to dump and hopper bottoms, plus top tier truck maintenance in their state of the art shop that's open to all truckers, not just their own fleet. They're growing stronger, expanding with their recent acquisition of McKinney Trucking, but never losing sight of what drives them. It's Ed Lewis Trucking, family driven, service proven. Call Ed Lewis Trucking at 618-686-3555.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Jimmy ordered lumber, doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, Jimmy ordered guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm talking about some crazy Victorian stuff.
I never knew anything about the swimsuits and the bathing machine.
Weird history of the Victorians. I just found this whole book
that's a cool
fascinating.
book.
So I'm going to be pulling this out from time to time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because there's every single page is good. So, but because it is October, there's a bunch of stuff in here. They were like obsessed with the occult. It was a period of time where less people were Christians, And they were looking for spirituality, and they started doing a bunch of seances. They were into some dark, not everybody, of course, but overall, like looking back at the Victorian history, there was some dark stuff going on. So we're going to talk about paranormal investigators. We're done with bathing machines, okay? We're moving on. Paranormal investigators. And they started having ghost hunting societies during the Victorian era. And they started ghost clubs. And Silas, Ty, let's take a look.
Hey, Silas in there.
Let's take a look at this. Okay, I know my I couldn't get a picture without the flash showing up, but this ghost club was founded in the 1850s. They're all men. They're all very serious men. And they're all old men.
Britain's oldest ghost hunting society. Yeah, because this was in the 1850s, and look at how old they are.
Yeah.
They were all born in the 1700s.
Yeah. So what exactly is the Ghost Club, and what is its mission? The Ghost Club is essentially a private body of friends and members who are particularly interested in ghosts and the paranormal. It's a place where skeptics and believers can meet on common ground. We don't have any collective opinion, but provide a forum and a meeting place where people who are interested in this subject can debate and discuss on a social basis. Now, debating these days is different, because back then they would listen to each other's side. I'm not sure that happens anymore. People don't listen. But they also conduct our own investigations and research from time to time, looking into both the scientific and the cultural sides of ghosts and the paranormal more wildly. We primarily investigate accounts in Great Britain, but we're also interested in reports of phenomena abroad. I like to think we preserve and celebrate some of our cultural traditions and history of ghosts. So they were asked, can you tell us a little bit about the organization's history? The Ghost Club's origins go back to the 1850s to a very loose student society which was formed at Trinity College in Cambridge. It was then launched officially in London in 1862 with an announcement in the Times, and it carried on until the 1870s, and where it stopped meeting. But then it was revived again in 1882 by an actual Church of England preacher. But he was also a remarkable medium. So do I believe this is true? Yes, it even says in the Bible that, there are mediums and things like that. But you are to stay away from them, and you are not to partake in any of that, and you're not to be a part of it. Yeah. However, this was a clergyman who decided he must have missed that passage. So he became a remarkable medium.
Maybe he was Catholic.
No, he wasn't. He was Church of England.
Church of England.
Reverend Staunton Moses was his name. And the Ghost Club was very private, but it attracted several people, poets that are known today still. A bunch of different people joined. They would meet every so often in London to discuss the latest in ghost, but were perhaps more occult oriented. This is where it starts getting weird, okay? They researched traditions and referred to each other as brother ghost. You know how you can be like a brother in Christ or whatever. You have a sister in Christ. You might, at some churches, they call each other brother, sister. That's fine as the Bible talks about this. But brother ghost. So if you and I were to form a ghost club, and you'd be a sister ghost.
Sister ghost.
Sister ghost. Well, my sister ghost Stacey here has something she'd like to say.
Ew, that just kind of gives me chills. I don't want to be called Sister Ghost.
It continued in this manner until the 1930s, and by this time the club had begun to attract a number of significant younger researchers, such as Harry Price. Price would later become world famous for investigating the Borley Rectory, a case that he worked on for 20 years and that people are still arguing about to this day. He kind of relaunched the club after World War II, and then he passed away in 1948. But anyway, this club went on and on and on, and they investigated a whole bunch of stuff. But they investigated all around the country, but one interesting exception: graveyards. They wouldn't invest graveyards.
They steered clear from graveyards?
Apparently.
Apparently they thought maybe something would come home with them, or what?
I don't know.
That seems weird.
The only equipment that they took was a notebook, a pencil, and a sympathetic ear. Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
I wonder if they. I mean, that just talks about the group. It makes you wonder how long were they in existence, and did it still carry on to this day? Or
it's
still what's going on
up until
in the
1990s. I mean, of course, it's all new members, of course, but they had an investigation at the House of Detention, which is a historic prison turned museum in Clerkenwell in central London.
So the Ghost Club still was existing in 1990. I bet it's still going on.
I bet it's still going on too.
How cool!
Yeah,
that's interesting. Those men look a little bit. They look stern.
Yeah, they do.
Because you look at these guys right here. These guys from that were born in the 1700s. Right? They weren't. I don't want to. They weren't really great. I don't know. I feel like a lot of men back then were mean.
Yeah, I know.
They
I feel
were
like
mean.
that too.
They're not. Kind of okay. That's
okay.
Thank you, Ty.
So
yeah, that's kind of an interesting. I would have never thought that though. Back in that period, they were into the occult and ghosts.
Oh yeah, there's pages and pages on that. I might save some of this for a Halloween episode.
Halloween episode.
But yeah, there's.
How many of those? Is that an ongoing magazine or is this just a?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
That's pretty cool. That's a really neat.
Yeah, and then there's stuff in here about their towns, about industry, inventions. The inventions are kind of cool. Aspirin was invented. Aspirin is one of the most successful over-the-counter pain remedies of all time, with new benefits constantly being uncovered, and it was one of the first drugs to be made available in tablet form. Let's see. It wasn't until the Victorian era that it went beyond a herbal folk medicine, as salicylic acid was made from the active ingredient in willow by French scientists. Further tweaking was needed, and it left many upset stomachs in its wake. German scientists created a more stable form in 1897, and aspirin was launched 2 years later.
I didn't realize it's.
Yeah. Anesthetic was invented during the Victorian era. And it was ether. And they used it to remove tumors or teeth or things like that. It existed for hundreds of years, but no one had thought to use it as an anesthetic until a former dental student, William Morton, began experimenting in secret on small animals and even himself. Until then, students had been inhaling ether fumes for fun. These drug addicts of the Victorian era.
Wow.
Dubbed ether frolics, where people would lose control of their motor functions and incur cuts and bruises without feeling any pain.
Duh. You'd fall. Didn't that ether knock you out?
Yeah. Gone were the days of plying patients with alcohol and opium, commanding several men to pin them down as the scalpel made contact with flesh. Deaths were avoided as surgeons were able to take more time operating, and in return, more medical discoveries were made. 1846. Ether. Used for surgery.
Wow.
X-rays.
That seems kind of late.
Yeah.
Because what do they, back then I guess they just got you drunk and you just drank and drank and drank.
They had opium, which was so incredibly addictive.
Yeah.
And that's why there was so many opium addicts back then.
Yeah, see, so some things just never change.
No, you're always going to have your drug addicts no matter what. I mean, they're not going to ever make a world where there's not.
Where there's not a drug addict.
It's sad, but it's true.
Choices.
Okay, so.
Wow.
I'm not sure how much time
you got a little bit of time. You could do another, probably a short one. You got about 3-4 minutes.
Okay, let's talk about X-rays. These were invented in 1895 by Wilhelm Röntgen. Röntgen? I don't know. Ever wondered what the X in X-ray stands for?
Yep.
You might be disappointed to learn that even its inventor, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen, didn't know. While experimenting by passing electrical currents through a cathode tube filled with a special gas, he discovered the tube produced a glow. It seems he had discovered an invisible light that he didn't fully understand, so he called it X radiation, because in maths, X is used to represent an unknown value. He didn't know what he was working with, so he just called it X, the unknown value.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Rontgen did not stop there. He even drafted his wife and produced the first X-ray photo of her hand. News traveled fast throughout the world, and scientists were soon able to replicate and refine X-ray images. Rontgen's belief that scientific discoveries belonged to the world kept him from patenting his invention, and the medical community embraced his discovery. He made no money off of it. He never patented it.
Oh, my gosh.
What a good guy.
That's sad.
Making fractures, bullets, and foreign bodies visible for all to see, the X-ray transformed medicine. Rontgen shied away from his newfound fame, but his breakthrough was celebrated the world over, and he was eventually awarded the first Nobel Prize in Physics. Well, at least he was recognized. But I think if he would have patented it, he might have made a little moolah.
Kind of like the Miracle Whip guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know how hard patents were to get back then. They're kind of difficult now. I think they kind of save them for their friends.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that...
let me see that book.
Weird History of the Victorians. And it has a picture of Queen Victoria up here at the top. Right here by my finger.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. I don't know who this was printed by, but it was at Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
And $21.99.
That's really not bad for a book.
Yeah. Jason, he's like, what are you buying? I'm
Where'd
like, I'm
you
going to buy this magazine. We were in Fairview Heights. And he's like, okay, like get the magazine. Then I bought one other thing for one of the kids, and we went and checked out, and it was like $50. It's like my total. And he was like, how much was your magazine? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't look.
I didn't even look.
I wanted it. It didn't matter. No, it was a $22 magazine, but it really is more of a book. I mean, it's magazine
so cool.
paper, but it's so much information.
Mm-hmm. I love the front cover
there's
too.
no ads or anything in it. It's basically
really
just just information on the Victorians, and it's quite the collection of stuff. So there's some things that I'm going to save for Halloween in here, and there's some things I'm going to save for Christmas. And
the pictures are pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book.
It is really nice. Book.
So,
I haven't been into a Barnes & Noble in forever. Are you one of those that can just be in there and linger?
Yeah.
And linger and linger and
I
linger?
can be in there and linger, but there was a store next door I wanted to go to, and they didn't open until 10 a.m., and we were there. It was like 9 a.m. So I'm like, we'll go to the bookstore, kill an hour, and then go.
And you did kill an hour.
Well, yes, definitely.
And $50.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And you took Jason with you to...
Mm-hmm.
Is he a good shopper?
He does pretty good. He likes a bookstore too, so he had
really.
A lot. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jim would lose his mind.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a bookstore person. I'm not a reader. I do like magazines. Now I would probably read that from cover to cover. I'm not a real big. I'm not a real big book reader. My mind wanders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm nuts.
Yeah. Well, everybody's different, but I mean, you would like this. You can definitely borrow it.
I would love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, a little Bill Engvall here.
Okay.
I was taking my son to the baseball game the other day, and he had his glove on. My neighbor saw us and asked, "Are you going to the game?" I said, "No. He likes to have his glove in the car with him in case someone throws a ball at us."
Oh, funny. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's pretty cute. Okay,
Yeah,
Beth, you got a few minutes to tell them where we're
Okay.
at.
Well, you can always watch us on Wabash Catch TV, Channel 100, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. and again at 3. New episodes air on Thursdays and Fridays, but all of our old episodes are on our YouTube channel, Beth and Stacey. Just type in Beth and Stacey and we'll pop up. You can find all of our episodes there. You can also follow us on Facebook or send us an email at bytheway@bethandstacey@gmail.com if you have any questions,
That's it.
comments, whatever. So until next time, see you later.
God bless you. Have a great day.